abundant life you deserve. So, this week I got an awesome topic for you guys, and it came up because I was talking to one of my clients, and I realized that this is a consistent theme around men around this time in their life, men who are taking care of their family, taking care of the bills, taking care of their homes, and not being able to relieve some of the pressure. So many men take on the role of provider, protector, problem solver for everyone around them. But what happens when the weight of those responsibilities becomes overwhelming? There's no one to talk to. In this episode, we're going to discuss the silent pressure many men face, why they often struggle in silence, and practical ways to relieve the pressure in healthy ways. All right. So, like I said, I came up with this idea, this topic, because I had a client that was experiencing something similar to this. And if this one client was experiencing this, I was like, maybe I could talk about it and bring in other men because one person doesn't go through a struggle. There's multiple people that's going through that similar struggle, but don't know how to ask for help. So my goal here was to introduce this topic and share some of the light of things that I've learned and things that could possibly help you get to your next level or find your tribe, find your group of men that believe in you, trust you, and that could help you become the best version of yourself. All right. So let's start this way. So before we get started, I want to thank all my subscribers, everyone that's hit that subscribe button, everyone who comments, everyone who likes. I appreciate you. Go ahead and keep subscribing, keep commenting, keep sharing your wisdom so we could keep connecting and sharing this message to the world. If you have not yet subscribed, go ahead and click subscribe and let's keep it on sharing the message. All right. So, this idea came from one of my clients, like I said. So, one of the things that men carry, they're taking care of the home, they're taking care of financials, they're taking care of everything, the bills. Uh, there's a running joke in my household where I guess there's a women's group and they have anybody found Bill yet. So with that being said, all the women in this group are maybe in a relationship, got a husband, whatever it is, and they have a saying, "Hey, has anybody have found Bill?" Right? And Bill is the phone bill, light bill, all of this stuff. So some of these women never seen the light bills, never seen the bills, period. Um, so it goes to show that men are out here taking care of all the financial stability for these women, which isn't a bad thing. That's what we are. We're providers, protectors. We're there to financial support everything, right? But the ongoing joke is that she can't find bill and she doesn't know what that bill. She don't want to know about those bills. But that puts the weight on us men to take care of it and make sure she never has to deal with it. So, one of the things I want to talk about to relieving that pressure is just being able to talk to somebody, right? So, some of the signs that someone is breaking under pressure or the weight is getting too much, you will be more reactive, you'll be more snappy, you start to be more anger, irritable, and you'll start to kind of like distance yourself, um maybe sometimes even feel resentment or even feel like you want to give up, you want to quit, you don't want to do it no more. So with that being said, when all those things come or start happening, one of the things you got to do is just take a step back and realize, okay, all right, I'm going down this path. So before we get into the 5 ways that man could relieve some of that pressure, let's talk about why some men decide to stay silent, right? So we talk about some of the signs: constant stress, emotional numbness, anger, withdrawal from friends or family, and overworking, And I personally have experienced this. I have been going hard for the last year, right? And I don't know if you've been watching, but over the past few weeks, a few weeks ago, I took a trip and I noticed that I got to that place of born up because I witnessed a couple of signs. And for some men, you got to realize those signs for you when it's becoming super overwhelming because it may be overwhelming and you're thinking, "Oh, just like me, I was thinking, oh, let me just go ahead and push through, push through, push through." But that pressure has to go somewhere. Think about it like a water hose. If you put your thumb or finger or hand on a water hose, that pressure is going to keep building until it can't build no more. And then all of a sudden, the water is going to start exploding through your hand, because the pressure can't hold no more. That's the same thing like handling the pressures of life, of family, of everything, right? So when that happened, three things happened to let me know that I really need to take a step back. The first thing was I missed a very important meeting. No, the first thing that happened was I arrived late to work. That has never happened. An hour late. Never happened in the time that I've been there. Arrived a few minutes late, but never an hour late. That was the first thing because I slept in and I was tired. But that's the first sign that I should have take a step back. The second sign was I had two upcoming clients, which this was unprofessional of me, but I set an alarm, everything, and I fell asleep. Like honestly, fell asleep. I don't know what happened. I clicked the alarm to get up, and then I just fell asleep, and I missed those two clients. I was like, okay, that's the second time. But then the third time I missed another meeting. So I was like, okay, all right, no, no, now I'm putting my funds in jeopardy. I'm not realizing the sign. So let me go ahead and book this trip and get out of here. So after that week, I booked that trip and I left. And I went to get that mental clarity, that step back that we also need to reset, refocus, and come back and take care of the stuff that you need to take care of as a man, as a family person, or as a husband, boyfriend, boyfriend, um, to skyrocket the rest of your life, right? So that's some of the signs that I experienced when going through and dealing with it. Some of the signs this client experienced was he his business was getting rocky, his marriage was getting rocky, and there were gonna be a whole bunch of different signs that let you know that you need to take a step back and look at it from a different perspective. So some of the reasons why men often stay silent was is just fear of appearing weak. I don't want to be vulnerable. Society says I gotta be a man. Society said that I gotta do this, and all the rules that society says to keep us in a box. But we have to understand that we also have feelings. We have emotions. We got stuff that bothers us sometimes, and it's okay to voice your opinions and emotions and thoughts and feelings about things that doesn't resonate with you. So cultural expectations, we talked about that, what society thinks, and just not wanting to burden others. Um, for one, I don't want to call my friend and be like, "Hey, look, like relationship going bad," or something like that. If you're going through this as a man, you're not gonna want to talk about that. We don't want to talk about that. But having that safe space, maybe it's not a friend, maybe it's a therapist or something, and we're gonna get into those things, right? So I wanted to touch on that to share the first part of it, right? So some of the ways that you could relieve the pressure of dealing with everything on your own, right? Is first just have an honest conversation, right? Encourage, talk to a friend, talk to somebody that you trust, talk to a partner, talk to a mentor, someone you could trust to open up and let them know, hey, look, I'm going through this. I'm going through a rocky part in my relationship. I don't know what to do. Because chances are that mentor, if it's someone you look up to, has possibly already been through that situation where he could guide you through, or he's already know somebody that could possibly help you get through that situation. So the first thing I would say, just have an honest conversation and talk to somebody who you trust, somebody you know, somebody you believe that could get you to your next level or where you want to be. But I would discourage you from talking to somebody who has not experienced it. If you're in a happy relationship, you're financially sound, and you're on your way to your 2.0 version of yourself. You can go talk to your cousin who's out there still in the street just running around doing all types of craziness, because you're not going to get the best advice that you need to get to your next level. So go ahead and look for people who are where you want to be in order to get to that next level or get through that problem, because somebody that's on the level of out in the streets still roaming around is not going to give you the best advice that you want to be, or vice versa. Somebody who is not in a relationship, you can go ask them for relationship advice because they're living a single life. They're gonna tell you single life people advice. You gotta find somebody who's in a relationship that wants to have their relationship in order to get that experience. The next thing I would say is just build a support group. Talk to somebody. um, for example, we have this group called Iron Sharpening Iron, and it's just us, man. We post workout videos. We try to get to, not try, but we do Spartan races. We're looking for the next one to get into. Just been a little bit crazy, but I'm looking forward to doing another Spartan race this year, possibly even two. One in maybe Jacksonville, Tampa. I know there's one in Tampa. Then there's also one in Orlando. It's just building a bond, going through that experience with other men to help you become the best version of yourself. So find a support group, somebody that's close in your circle that you could talk to help you get to that next level or become the best version of you. The next thing I would say is just maybe getting therapy, mental health support. So therapy, counseling. Yeah. As men, we're like, I don't know if I'm gonna do that. I don't want to talk to nobody about my problems. However, there has been men that sat in the chair and was able to talk through their problems and thank me for talking to them through their problems. They they were able to get relief. They were able to find a solution. This one client um came back this week and said, "Hey man, Sam, thanks for talking to me. I booked that self-care trip and I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going fishing in this part of Florida." So it's nice seeing the benefits of just having somebody to talk to as far as a therapist, and being able to get that sound advice that you need to keep going, to keep getting to the version of yourself that you want to be. All right. So that was a positive story that I thought I might share, that would help you understand that things happen. Like, one of the problems you may experience is you are probably building a business, and your business has grown so much you're taking on a weight and you need somebody else to maybe hire an employee or hire an assistant, someone to take some of that pressure off, so you can have the time to spend with your family, or have the time to do what you need to do to become the better version of yourself. And I know I keep throwing around the words the best version of yourself, because that's what we're here for. We're here to become the best version of ourselves and not just drift through life. And if you know what book that is, that's called Outwitting the Devil, where it talks about people drifting through life and people who are finding purpose. The people who drift through life are just going one day at a time and just going through life not knowing what's next for that. And throughout therapy, being a therapist, I see people who are just drifting through life and just don't have no purpose. And I do my best to guide them to finding their purpose in life, and not just drifting through, um doing whatever and letting life hand them whatever. So we're gonna go into the next one, right? We talked about three things already. We talked about the honest conversation, having that honest conversation with somebody you trust, building a brotherhood, mental health support, and the next thing is going to be physical outlets, right? So if the stress and pressures are pressing on you, go ahead and get some exercise in. Exercise does good for the brain. It's good to help blood go to the brain, help cortisol, all that good stuff, dopamine to your brain, so you could be able to function and think on a different level. I emphasize working out to my clients just because it's just one of the things that you could get your blood pumping and you could figure out solutions to problems that you wouldn't have been able to think of if you was just not working out, not getting that blood pumped to your brain. So one of the things I like to say is that I am the problem, but I'm also the solution because you are this problem and the solution. In a low vibrational state, you are the problem. If you have a problem, you are the problem. You can figure it out, right? And you are also the solution. But it takes you becoming a 2.0 version of yourself to see that you are also the solution to the problem, right? So, exercise, sports, physical activity to relieve the stress that you're feeling. Basketball, basketball, running, um, going to the gym, whatever works for you, go ahead and do it. It may be cricket, maybe pickleball, whatever exercise you want to do to get you back in shape, to get your blood flowing, to get your mind right and become the better version of yourself, right? And then the next one is setting boundaries, right? So setting boundaries, some of us, whenever someone call, you're the first person to rush and go, yeah, yeah, I get you, you know, and just go down to the party, whether it's a dinner, wherever you go, someone need help, you're the first person to jump and go, and that's not a bad thing. That is not a bad thing, but the problem comes in when you know you have personal things to do, such as you have a schedule to go take your girlfriend out, but you drop what you had to do, or you had this assignment, you had this goal that you had to meet, and you drop your goal and go help your friend. Now that's just you not respecting your boundaries. Honestly, no is a complete sentence. You don't need to explain. You can tell somebody no without being disrespectful. So just having those strong boundaries and knowing that you don't have to carry everything alone. You can talk to somebody, you can let them know that hey, you're struggling and you need some help. It's not a bad thing to talk to somebody. Just watch who you are talking to. All right. And then one of the last thing is just spiritual and personal reflection. You know, a lot of growth happens from prayer, meditation, journaling, and personal growth practices. One of the things that I recommend most of, not most, all of my clients, because if you don't know, I'm a therapist as well. I said it earlier. Therapist and counselor with substance use. So one of the things I recommend to them is just being able to journal. Whether it's once a week, whether it's every day during the week, journal, because you only get to see me once a week. Write down what's bothering you, what triggered you, what happened, what you grew, what you learned. Like write down those things so you could be able to come talk to me about it and we could see how you've grown, seeing what advice, what things we can do. Not advice, but what things we could talk about to get you to solution to those problems in your life that you're facing, right? So, journal, meditation. Meditation is also a good one. Um, there's different types of meditation you could use. There's guided meditation, there is non-guided meditation. For if you're new, I would recommend doing guided meditation because it tells you exactly what to do. For example, the six phase meditation, it talks to you about the different phases: love, compassion, gratitude, forgiveness, your future, your your perfect day and a blessing, you know? So use guided meditations and different things to help you throughout your journey as relieving these pressures as man. So these are the six things that I believe would help relieve some of the pressures that men often struggle. And I'm excited about this topic because it came to me from a client, like I said, and I just wanted to share and be open of my thoughts and share my own experience of what I experienced when the pressures were on, you know? um And then the last bonus tip I would say is create a system, create a system for dealing with some of the stress. If you know it's something you do daily, make a schedule, make a system of how you go through it. Like, for example, if you know you post one time a day or post one time a day on social media about like being inspired, So this is my personal example. So here's a backstory. I was using a specific app to post every day, and I got to about 90 days using this one app. And after 90 days, they told me I need to pay this certain subscription to continue going. I was like, oh, hell no. For some motivational words? All right. So I created a system for it. I went and created my own brand with my own like topics and motivational things from famous people, and I started posting it. We are 30 days strong and we're still going with that. And it goes to show that you could create things to make your life simpler. It doesn't have to be something that's already there. It could be something that's already there, but create a system so that you don't have to do the same things daily. Like, for example, I know at like 6 o'clock, like we got bedtime. So I got to start working on the bedtime routine. And that's a system that we have. We keep it going. We kept it going from since they were born, that 6 o'clock is bedtime, and they know this, so it's already wind down time at that time. So I wanted to share this message with you guys. And last thing I would say is, just women, wives, girlfriend, check in on your husband, boyfriend, whatever you may call it. Check in with them. Just do a actual check in and be like, hey, babe, how's it going? How are you doing? How are you handling everything that you're dealing with? A simple check in like that could go a long way. Lets him know that you care, lets them know that you're there and you hear and you see him. So I'll end with this: strength isn't carrying everything alone. Real strength is knowing when to speak up, ask for support, and share the weight. Excuse me. So, guys, I want to thank everyone for joining this episode of Be Inspired Podcast, where we're inspiring you to live the abundant life you deserve. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If I said anything that resonated with you, go ahead and hit the comment and tell me what exactly resonate with you. And if you haven't liked or share or comment, go ahead and like, share, and comment and subscribe to our channel today. All right, for more awesome videos like this. Next week, we have another awesome guest coming on, and I'm looking forward to it. Until next time, have a good week and have an awesome, awesome March. Peace out, guys.